Okay, students, Dr. Murray here. This is the lecture for the small video that I put on TikTok about the anatomy of a book. In this video, I will show you in detail about the anatomy of a book. Excuse me. It will give you a visual. Drink some water. So, the anatomy of a book shows you the front matter. Okay, the front matter, you can have what we have here is a half title page. It's not necessary, but it's more important to have the title page. But here, if you go down, you can see it have some blurbs and testimonies. You can add this, and this is more so for people who have written a lot of books before and they're redoing a book, republishing, or it's another book that they publish and they want to show the praise for the author. So you can include this if you are a well-established author. So this is the main title page that people will see right here when they open your book. And this is just an example. This is the main title page. And most of the time you do need this in books. Like it says right here. All books need them. Next is going to be the copyright page. This is copyright page. Copyright page is going to have, whatever business or publishing company that publish your book. You may have your own publishing company. You're going to put the year of your copyright. Sometimes books have more than 1 year copyright. A lot of people put the disclaimer on the same page as the title page. That's your choice. Here you will find the ISBN number. Like here you have the ISBN number for the hardcover, the audio book. And really, ebooks don't necessarily have to have a ISBN number. And when you go to upload it to KDP Amazon, they will tell you that your ebook don't have to have an ISBN number. So right here you see it just tells you a little bit about the copyright and the symbol, the year, the copyright owner, copyright statement. And here's an example right here, all rights reserved. Okay, moving along. That's talking about the ISBN number, place of printing, edition, printer's key, credits, things of that nature. Now, you can download this from scribemedia.com, parts of a book. Now, next is the dedication page. And the dedication page is a dedication to, a lot of people dedicated to their kids, their wife, spouse, a mentor, people that had a big influence on their life, and so forth. It's not necessarily, but it's good to have a dedication in your book. Most books do have them. Alright, next is like a quotation page. A lot of people, put like a quote, their favorite quote from somebody on the next page after the dedication page. I think I do this in most of my books. It's not necessary. Then after that, you have your table of contents. Yes, you need a table of contents. So, this is a table of contents. It's just an example. Everybody know about a table of contents. It just directs your readers to what your chapters are going to be about, and list of tables and stuff like that is not necessary. But some books may need them depending on the type of book that you're writing. Next is the foreword. You don't really need a foreword, but a lot of times, the foreword is written by somebody other than the author, and it's just like a kind of like somebody kind of co-signing for the author or writing something about the author and so forth. You can decide if you want that in your book. I think only one of my books have a foreword. Here is an example of a foreword right here, as you can see. See, it says most books don't need a foreword, but there are 2 reasons to include: to confer status and credibility on you, the author, right? Second reason is to provide context and a background for the reader. So those are 2, and that's what I use in my fire department book. Was for credibility. I used a foreword by a battalion chief that I know, and it kind of adds to my credibility. And that's why I put it in there. Okay, the preface. The preface is, it goes after the foreword. It's a chance to talk directly to your reader about why you wrote the book. It's not necessary, but people have their reasons about writing books, and it might inspire others. People write books because they went through something in life, had a traumatic event or something like that, and they may want to share that story with them. So you will put all of that in the preface. Now, the back matter. So after the preface and all that, that's when you go into, your subsequent chapters and, however you're going to write your book. That's on you. That's common sense, or how you going to name your chapters and so forth. So once you're done with all of that, you move on to the back matter, what they call it. The front matter is what's in the front of your book, and then the interior, and then the back matter. So the back matter is acknowledgments. You give acknowledgments for, those who may have helped you along the way. You might have a co-author you want to give acknowledgments to. It can be family, friends, colleagues, mentors, editors, agents, publishers. So you can take this chance to thank all your contributors and things like that for what they have done in your acknowledgement. Appendix, most books, don't need an appendix, but if you need an appendix, you can place it here. You can do a postface. It's like a preface. It speaks directly to the reader. But unlike the preface, it appears at the end of the book use a part of the appendix. So none of my books had, a postface. I haven't even seen a book that I personally read that had a postface. You can put notes there. There's a lot you can put in the back. Footnotes, bibliography and references. You're going to need that. But here it says, do most books need it? No, unless it's academic text. But, to be a credible, author, I would say, if it's something like self-help. Now, if it's a fiction book, yeah, that's something that's different, But writing a novel about a love story, yeah, of course you don't need a bibliography or reference. But if you're doing like some kind of academic book or a self-help book, some kind of scientific, anything that requires you to do a lot of research and cite a lot of authors and research, then yes, you probably need to put a bibliography or reference in here because you want to cite what you use and give people credit. I mean, it's just the right thing to do, but is it necessary? No, I have read books with no bibliographies and references, but it makes you look like you just, made things up and, could have been just going off things in your head, and not giving people credit. That's how I look when I read a book that don't have it. So, most books use the Chicago manual style, but scientific books tend to use APA. Throughout school, I dealt with APA, more than anything. That's what I'm familiar with, APA. So I tend to use APA in my formatting for not just the bibliography and references, but pretty much throughout my books. Copyright permissions, that's if you use things copyright. Of course, you gotta get permission, so you can kind of put things like that. Some books require glossaries, some books don't. But we typically talking about books that don't need all this stuff. Most of these books that's gonna need glossaries, indexes, appendices, stuff like that. If you're writing a book for academia type, that's gonna be using school systems and things like that. So for this course, I don't think we need that, because looking at the students that have reached out to me, majority of them are trying to write like novels, children's book, things like that, self-help books. So I haven't seen anybody that mentioned writing academia type books. So you got the index, list of contributors, resources, things like that. A lot of that stuff you don't need. So you can take the time out to go to this website here and do your own research. But typically, it's all you need is right here. The title page, and I made the TikTok video on this. The copyright page, dedication, short quotation, table of contents, the forward, preface, your introduction to your book, subsequent chapters, your conclusion. In the back matter, the only thing you really need is acknowledgments, which you don't have to have that. Your bibliography, coming soon if you got other books coming soon, so you really don't need that. And about the author. So basically, in the back matter of your book, you're pretty much going to have your bibliography and an about the author section. That's pretty much what you're going to end up having. So, and they just your about the author, just a bio about yourself. So that's pretty much it in this video. So if you have any questions, I will upload this video to YouTube. Make your comments under the video on YouTube, or make sure you comment under the TikTok video once I upload it. So make sure you subscribe to my YouTube, which is Dr. Murray's Classroom, because I try to put all of the classroom and book writing stuff in one location to make it easy to find for students to go back to. They can pause, always go back to it without the inconvenience of going through TikTok trying to find the videos, skim through the videos trying to find them, and just with the other distractions of TikTok. So I'm trying to put them in one location. That's a new channel that I created just for that, and that's why I don't have a whole lot of subscribers, because it's a newly formed channel just for this and other stuff, but I mainly made it for this course. So please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Thanks for listening. It's Dr. Murray. Hope you learned something. Thank you.